Wait, are we live? I think Mason broke it. He is kicked off the camera today because we have a sick Mason down here. So,
yes, we do.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Adam.
Hello.
When you call into Zen Float Co. and you purchase a tent, you'll be speaking to Adam. So we thought it was appropriate to have him down here to kind of go over some of the 5 costs to consider before buying a tent.
How you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
I was hoping they could answer back, but I don't know if it works that way. So first and foremost, we are Zen Float Co. Welcome to another live. We certainly enjoy doing these on Wednesdays. Leave your comments, and in the comment section, we'd love to hear where you're watching from. We're a big fan of doing shout-outs, but Mason walked away, so I'm not sure who's saying hi yet.
Yeah.
We'll blame it on him. So, first things first, it's the holidays. Things could be a little overwhelming, and people tend to put their health to the side. So now is the time. It's also the time of giving gifts. With that being said, we want you to give a gift to yourself, and that's to make sure you are taking care of you, and this is a big reason why we're here.
Absolutely.
So we'll go tit for tat.
What's that?
We'll go tit for tat.
Tit for tat. I'm not sure what that means, but...
You read that one.
All right.
I'll read this one.
We are very prepared, clearly, so...
We're prepared. As much as usual.
All right, so thinking about, okay, a lot of the people I speak to, they work out, they go to the gym, or they're on types of medications, pain, depression, anxiety, or they have, even vices. But all of it costs money, and that's kind of the point, is to think about how much you actually spend on your health already, especially on medications. I mean, so many people, like doctor visits, medications, psychiatry, all of it adds up over time. And honestly, with floating, it's the L to everything.
Yeah.
It truly helps so many people that I speak to, and just it's just a fact that it helps with all these elements that we go to the doctor for now. Like everything, pretty much, that we go to. I mean, myself, I used to be on many medications, so I was just talking to them, and everything I was on, floating helps with, all of it. So it's truly important to realize what you're doing for your own health right now, and kind of weigh it out to see how floating would change your life, what you could save even. A lot of people, I know one guy that wanted to stop smoking, and he got this, and from floating, he not only stopped smoking, but he stopped drinking as well. And that kind of led to not going out as much to eat and all kinds of stuff. So
we're talking thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it does.
Thousands of dollars a year
easily.
At that moment.
Easily.
So purchasing a float tent, kind of like what we're talking about, it's a true investment in your health. And this is one, this will be at home. So not only is this going to be an investment in your health, this will also be an investment in your family's health. So we want you to keep everybody in the picture, everyone that's, you're living around and everything else. This is kind of why we're here and talking about it. And Adam's right. I mean, if you, you just take smoking, you take drinking, you take some of these ailments. We deal with a lot of people that have fibromyalgia. He brought up anxiety and depression. If you think about all of the medications that we put in our system and just take a mental tally of what you would spend throughout the year, and then adverse that with what it would cost to put a tent up in your home, you're going to be pretty amazed. 1, the affordability, and then 2, being able to get off of these drugs. Mm-hmm. And then quitting smoking, that's a huge thing that we hear all the time as far as floating. So something that we definitely push.
Absolutely. We're skipping that part, right?
Yeah. So we talked about the benefits, and then definitely putting the money back in, putting the money back into your own wallet, basically. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things to consider. So the cost of an actual float tent.
Okay. The cost of a tent, of course, is $1,940, where tanks range, typically commercial tanks can range from $10,000 to $70,000.
Yeah.
Really. So we are the most affordable option out there.
By far.
Like, by far. Even with shipping, salt, everything all together, you could get 3-4 of these packages for the cost of one commercial tank. So it makes the whole point was to make this accessible for folks in their homes.
Yeah, easily. And
so,
especially in comparison to what you would be spending. And like Adam said, I mean, it could go upward from $50,000 to $70,000. There's people out there that do whole rooms, and they'll come in, they'll knock down a wall, walls and walls, and rebuild. And I wouldn't say normal people, but normally people are not able to make that kind of investment into floating at home.
Ellen says hi.
Hi, Ellen.
How you doing?
We hope you're back to floating. Do you know who Ellen is?
No.
She's our regular.
Is she?
Ellen is our favorite floater by far.
Hi, Ellen.
So we want to talk a little bit about the cost of shipping the float tent to your home.
It's pretty minimal, actually. If you were to do the tent alone, you're at $105.97. Most people in the lower 48 will do the all-in-one package, the float-ready package, which is going to be the tent plus the salt and shipping, as well as some extra filter bags, pH up and down, 2 bottles of water test strips, underwater headphones, leave-in conditioner, earplugs, so everything to get you rolling pretty much. That whole shipping, everything comes in that package for $2,940. Out of the country, it's a little bit different. It ranges from about $250 to, it rarely gets up to $1,000, but it can in certain countries. But for the most part, anywhere overseas, you stay 3 to 7 range, really. So,
and even with that too, you can look at the cost of still of where you'd be. Even if you went on the high side of up to $1,000, all depending on per country, you'd still be lower than, and we still come in lower than what you'd find for a large commercial tank.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. Australia is a big one where people look for different types of tanks, and and there's just no possible way really for anybody to get anything but what we have shipped down there. Actually, yeah, I spoke to somebody about that today. And here's another great thing for anybody that might be coming to the country. Actually, the individual I spoke to about it today, he's actually from the U.S., but he's shipping it to Australia. And he's going down there next month because they're purchasing it for a friend that has some medical issues or whatnot. But the great thing about the tent is it will come in 2 smaller boxes that you can check. So anybody out of the country, if you ever come to the U.S., I've done this a lot with individuals. If you know anybody in the U.S., we can ship it to them for much less, and then you could check it on your flight back. The whole thing.
Pro tip.
Yeah. So yeah, you won't have to worry about duties at that time, and the cost for shipping will be extremely less. So
there's a good pro tip. So let's talk about salt and initial order salt. We got a lot of questions about salt, and can you buy just the salt, and what the cost would be.
The salt, yeah, you can buy just the salt, absolutely. Our salt we sell for $4.32 plus the shipping, which it's going to, of course, vary for whatever state you're in. We typically don't do the salt out of the country just because it would get up there pretty significantly for the shipping, as well as you'll pay for the duties at that time, the taxes and duties. So finding it locally if you're out of the country is a much better idea, which it's not difficult to find. If you guys have any problems actually looking it up, and a lot of people ask me, well, where do I find it? You can Google it easily, but what I normally suggest to people that it might be a little bit harder to find is just find your local float center and ask them where they get their salt. They might be able to sell it to you, actually. A lot of places do. Well.
Good idea.
So.
And then cost of necessary water care, and then maintenance supplies. And this is a good time for us to talk about what's included in our ultimate package, because we kind of want to set you up the moment you open the box and you get everything going, get your water going. We kind of want to set you up to start to go.
So what you're going to need initially is hydrogen peroxide, your pH up and down. pH up and down we do send with the all-in-one package. Water test strips, again, we send with the all-in-one package. And you'll probably want to pick up a skimmer, which
highly recommended.
Yeah, you can get the hydrogen peroxide skimmer, even scum bugs, which are just sponges that soak up oil, which is recommended as well. You can get all of that on Amazon for let's see, you'll be under $100 for all of that. And actually, for the hydrogen peroxide, you can get 2 gallons of the 35% on Amazon, and 1 gallon's going to last you close to a year, and you can get that for $68. So you're talking $30 there. Again, with water maintenance, you'll have to have our micron filter bags, which you'll replace every 3 months. We'll send 2 initially with our all-in-one packages, 1 with the tent alone. So anybody overseas, I always suggest picking up an extra 5-pack right away. We can ship that right away with you. Again, you'll replace those every 3 months, and a 5-pack is only $39.99. So you're under $100 a year, really, with water maintenance. for sure, actually.
So still really affordable.
Exactly. So.
And then what about ongoing costs? So let's talk a little bit about electric bills and then maybe some pro tips about how to keep those costs down.
Your power bill is going to go up anywhere from $35 to maybe at most $100 really. I haven't really talked to anybody that gets it that high. I'm sure it's somewhere. I haven't spoken with anybody that gets it that high, but it's possible. There are ways to cut back on the heating costs. If it's going to go up if you're in the tent's in a colder room, of course. Mine, I get this a lot. A lot of people are concerned about keeping their rooms in the high 70s or whatnot. You don't have to. It will create more condensation when the room is a little bit cooler inside the tent. On the outside, inside the tent, which you can easily remedy by tapping the sides or wiping down the inside or whatnot. But if your room is colder, it's okay. There are ways of insulating the tent, which I can actually break down really easily, explain, or even show you pictures of what other folks have done. Really inexpensive to do so, which I know somebody did it and it cut his heating costs in half at that point by doing that. So,
what would be some of your tips then of what to use material wise and examples that you've heard of?
A lot of people have just used some insulated bubble wrap, basically. Some chrome looking stuff that you can easily get at any hardware store. I think a roll of it's anywhere from $16 to $30.
Okay, good idea.
And they just cut it to fit, simply. Or some people put blankets on top of it when they're not using it.
We've seen lots of blankets.
Yeah. And actually blankets help with sound muffling as well. So something to keep in mind. Let's see, where was I?
We could even talk about using a lining. So if you've got windows in your float room, make sure you seal around the windows. There's even a plastic lining that you can put up on the window that'll help keep some of the heat in, keep those electrical costs down that
Absolutely.
way.
And in whatever room you put it in, the tent can put off a little bit of heat. So if you keep the door shut, it should keep your room, remotely warmer than the rest of the house if you keep it down. But as far as the cost, it's just how cold you keep the room is what determines how much power you use. And as far as the power, you're talking, a lot of people ask this, average is about 8 kilowatts per month. Or per day, excuse me.
Per day. I'm like, well, that is really low.
8 kilowatts per day, it's like running a toaster, basically.
Yep.
So it's not very significant. It's pretty low key.
And then what about salt? So how long can someone expect to keep their salt for, as far as cost-wise for salt? How long can that stretch?
Try and make it stretch as close to 2 years as you possibly can. It is possible. If you're keeping it up on the maintenance, which is basic, you're checking the chemicals each week, wiping down the walls every other week, spraying with some 3% hydrogen peroxide, rinse that filter bag out once a month and replace it every 3. If you're doing that stuff, as well as making sure that you're fully rinsing yourself and your hair out before you get in there, keep the oils out of there, it'll be much closer to 2 years, for sure. Otherwise, a year to 2 years.
Yeah. And if you have any questions, again, we always let you know. Make sure you send us an email or give us a call. Mason will be able to answer any questions. Unless you want to talk to Adam personally. He's a sharp-looking guy. Why wouldn't you? Was that embarrassing?
No.
Just
so when you call, definitely, if you ever have any questions, like you said, absolutely reach out to me. You can either email me at adam@zenfloco.com, or you can call the office. You hit the 2 option, that will come directly to me.
Perfect.
To make it simple. So
we'll post a little link up there in the comments too, a direct link to Adam's email, so you can contact him directly. So I know this kind of sounds like a lot, and the whole process of going through this sounds like a lot. Adam's definitely got some expertise on making this whole process very simple. So if there's any other questions that you want us to answer, we will check this throughout the week until next Wednesday. Really, the biggest goal for us is we want you to take care of you. We're a big believer in personal health, and this is something that we strive, and it's kind of our mission down here at Zen. So look at this as a personal investment. I know a lot of times, and it took me a long time to get into self-care, and it's something that my life wouldn't be the same if I didn't do it. And it's a constant habit. It's a constant mindset to make sure that I'm okay. And then you think about if you're okay and you're balanced, what you're doing and how you're benefiting other people around you.
Absolutely. This is, like you said, it is an investment into your health, your personal, mental, and physical well-being. I don't think people really realize they initially think, okay, floating, that'll help me relax a little bit. But it's going to do so much more than that. This is going to be a life changer, especially when you are able to put it in your home and start building a practice with it. It's not the same as going to a facility and floating when you can or when they can get you in there and you're taking the time to drive there. You know, I know some people that go hours just to go do one float. It takes hours out of their day, and a lot of people don't have that ability. So having it in their home when they can wake up, they can jump in it, get a float in, or when they come home from work, they need to relax, unwind. It's a life changer.
You don't have to hop in a car. You don't get out of a wonderful float and then have to hop back in a car and get that stress back up and everything else.
Yeah.
You're in your home.
And driving home, I have a lot of people tell me they have a hard time driving home after they float.
Well, you just hit that Zen point. You hit that meditation point.
Absolutely.
So,
with the holidays. And here's something, you guys. I've been helping a lot of people. We have something going on right now that if you guys call in, I can definitely chat with you about an offer for the holidays. But it's not a discount. Don't get your hopes up. But one thing to remember, we do have a financing option, which a lot of people are taking advantage of right now, because you don't actually have to make any payments for the first 6 months. Okay, and if you do pay it off in the next 6 months, you won't pay any interest. So some people try and do that. Otherwise, you can just start making payments at that point. But it's awesome right now for the holidays because you have Christmas. This is your Christmas present. Get it for yourself or for a family member or whatnot. Finance it. Don't worry about making a payment on it until after Christmas. Get your kids whatever they want for Christmas and whatnot, and worry about paying this off after, or even use your tax return when it comes in.
Yep.
But don't hold off just because Christmas is right here. This is the perfect time to buy it. Don't ever put it off your well-being, your health. Don't ever put it off.
Oh yeah, look at the stress that you're under, and we're going to try to give you an option to take care
Especially
of that.
in holiday season.
Especially right now.
You need to unwind after shopping and the kids and family stuff.
Oh yeah.
I know I do.
And imagine if you could just go home and float. Shut out the senses for a while, let the family know that you're going to be in there. It'd be a nice break for you. Make an investment in yourself. That's the goal.
Absolutely.
So Adam, thanks for hopping on. You need to do more of these.
You guys don't like me, I thought.
No, Adam needs to do more of these. We want to hear your comments if Adam needs to do more. I'm thinking it's a yes. So, like we said, if you've got any questions or any comments, please put them in the section. We'll do our best to get to them. If there are any ideas of things that you want us to cover, we're more than happy to do it. Leave those comments too. And Ellen, we hope you're back floating. I know it's been a while, so get back in the tank. Anything you want to say?
Just making sure.
You want to recap costs one more time? We'll just go over it. What's full cost of the ultimate package?
Full cost of the ultimate package is $29.40, unless you were military, and then you're $27.46.
Perfect. Now, what if you just bought the tent?
$1,940, and shipping would be $105.97.
And what's our cost on salt?
Salt is $4.32 plus shipping.
I like these rapid fire questions. This is great. Perfect. So if you have any questions, he's your man. He'll go ahead and take care of you, and we'll make sure to get a tent in your home. It's been fun. I'm going to put you on solo because I got to hit stop.
All right. I'll just sit here awkwardly waving.
It's not awkward. All kind of awkward.
Any questions on there?
All right. Ellen just said floating will save your life, and I wholeheartedly agree.
As do I.
Ellen, we adore you. We hope it's been fun.
Thanks, guys.